This is how you guys create the best universe mode ever in WWE 2K23. I do this series every single year when the 2K games drop. This year I have divided it into 7 simple steps. If you guys want to join a wrestling gaming community, please go ahead and join my Discord server in the description and in the pinned comment.
The first thing I would recommend you guys to do is to figure out what your universe mode is. I would do some brainstorming. For this video and for my own superstar mode, I have conducted my own universe mode and I've already done my own draft. I've already decided what I wanted my universe mode to be about, and I wanted to center my universe mode around one person, and that was my created character called Nick Inspo. You can also get him on community creations. But most people just decide to draft whoever they want to their universe mode and have even more than 52 people per roster. But some of you are going to want to have your universe mode centered around an era. So if I go into Raw over here, say I wanted to do Raw 2011, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to show details and I'm going to change this Raw logo, and most importantly I'm going to change this arena. Okay, maybe not 2011. Let's say I wanted to do 2002 or 2005. I would go ahead and change everything to the 2005 stuff. Some of you guys are going to also do all females, all males, and all tag teams, and or just a completely universal universe mode. My example is a little bit of a mix of the current era and some legends of the past. For example, I have Bret Hart here. I could have Batista in here. If I like this edge better, I would switch out edges. But I recommend you do a little bit of brainstorming on what you exactly want to do before you start the universe mode. Step number 2 is the draft. I can make a whole separate video on how to do a universe mode draft if you guys want me to, but for this example I only have Raw and SmackDown and I have about 50-ish people per show, and if you guys want you can put NXT in the middle here. That's also if you guys actually want to manage and run 3 shows, but I think that might be a little bit too much, at least for me. What I've been using to keep track of who is on my roster and when I want to do like brand switches was Google Docs. I organize it with the folder and I have like a roster document where I include my tag teams and championships and stuff like that. How I did my draft was I actually drafted tag teams first. There is something I would recommend you guys do even before doing that though. And that is make all your tag teams and set your champions. Some of you guys are going to have literally every single championship vacated at first, which is also perfectly fine. Some of you guys are going to crown your champions at your very first pay-per-view. Depending on the way that you're doing it, I would recommend you to, if you're going off real life WWE, obviously that's where you set your champions. But of course, if you're doing your own thing in your own timeline, then I would recommend crowning your champions at a pay-per-view. Or your first shows. Don't let me tell you what to do. But there were certain tag teams I had ideas for, such as a person tag team like LA Knight and Robert Roode. And the amount of tag teams I actually do per show is around 7 and 8. But that number can vary depending on how many matches your show has, which I have 7 each show. And for my pay-per-views, I have 8 matches each show, or for like bigger pay-per-views, I have at least like 9 or 10. Which brings me to step 4, and that is your show logos, match numbers, and pay-per-views. Your number of matches is going to completely depend on the amount of participants that you have. If your roster is larger by maybe like 10, 15, 20 people, I recommend doing maybe like 2 more matches. And if your roster is larger than mine, then I recommend just adding an extra 2 matches to the pay-per-views if you want. I like to sometimes change my logos into my favorite logos that WWE has. Like I would change it to the old like 1999 SmackDown and maybe like the 2005 Raw logo. I don't know, I just think those are more visually appealing. And I do the same thing for my arenas too. If I want to change it to 2005, I'll hit save, and now I have the 2005 arena. Step number 5, I want to talk about match tables and divisions. If you are booking every single match on your show, then you don't really have to worry about this. But if you do let the game help you, you might want to make some adjustments. So it is probably good to set divisions here. I have one-on-one normal chances to 52% and tag team matches huge here. And the only other ones that I have on here are triple threat and normal. If you guys want like championship matches on your show to happen, what you would do is you would put championship on the line. And now the chances of you having a championship match on your show is like a one-on-one normal 52% chance. This might be a little bit too much, which is why I turned this off. But you can also also, of course, add other things to the match table, even your own custom matches. This basically increases or decreases the likelihood of the match type happening on the show. This also goes for the rivalries you set on your own show. You can change the match type for a one-on-one feud, like falls count anywhere percentage chance, and you can change the potential for it to be a normal match or a completely different stipulation altogether. You can also do the same thing for a 2-on-2. Divisions is also really important if you are letting the game help you. Make sure you are using as much as your roster as possible. The only issue I have with this is that you can't have people in multiple divisions. So my tag team division, I have every single tag team on here just chilling in my tag title divisions. I want there to be at least like 10 people that are challenging in my divisions here. Maybe the mid-card title has a little bit more, but my world title is like maybe 10 or 11. Try not to leave superstars out of your divisions like I've done here. Now we can get into rivalries, which is my step number 6. There have been some tiny changes in this game where rivalries are, you know, they have a little bit more cutscenes and they are just a little bit better. You can still like change the intensity like in the other games, of course. And you can kind of go into the show and hit R3 to hit rivalry actions, and you can kind of go ahead and change some of these if you want to have different cutscenes happening. You have a lot of action categories here that give you a lot of different cutscenes. And I recommend if you want these good cutscenes, definitely utilize the rivalry feature. In my opinion, though, I still feel like the more you play Universe Mode, the more that this seems a little bit repetitive still. And for the Universe Mode content creators out there, I have a step number 7 for you. For those who still do the long-form Universe Mode content, please just keep organized, stay organized, remember your storylines, watch your shows back all the time, but most importantly, book it the way that you want and have fun.
Again, guys, this is just stuff that you should be thinking about in your universe mode, but mostly kind of do whatever you want. These are just my tips and suggestions on how to make the best universe mode that you can possibly make. Let me know if you guys want some different kinds of tutorials as well. Leave a comment telling me what type of thing that you want to see from me in terms of like a how-to universe mode tutorial type style. Like if you guys want to see a how-to tutorial on how to do a draft, or if you guys want me to go in depth a little bit more and do like a how to make a good storyline. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and again, join my Discord server.